Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to
It's
Tallahassee.
mercy if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shelly, you hoodie girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Peep the gameplay, you want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets out the buckets, baby. You're out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Buckets. I'm Matt. He's Vish. She's Melissa. Has it been, like a 2-week hiatus or?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Well, we're back. I'm good. I'm tired, exhausted. Excuse the noise from outside. I have to have the windows open because it's like 90-something degrees.
He's also saving the birds.
Saving the birds, too. Yeah. No bird casualties on the show today. We are not letting that happen.
Matt, why is it going to be a good show today? What's going on?
Well, we got a little interview happening today. We got Kotie Kimble, assistant coach, coming on. We already got the usuals here in the chat.
We got CCH. We got
look, the OGs. Three of the 4 OGs are in the building. Look at that.
Yeah, Vish wins the baseball show.
First of all, there's like literally nothing to discuss. Unless you want to just talk about Adrian Del Castillo.
Why is it that the first thing Canes Cats Heat says when he comes in here is about baseball?
It's the third thing, actually. It was let's go. Coach is a very nice person. He treats well on the team trip. Then,
but shout out to Jackson and Bill as well. I think Jackson's is starting his senior year at Miami. Good stuff.
well, enjoy it because then comes life.
Or if you're me and Vish, you can go back and get your master's, and
yeah, there's always
be a student forever, but no one wants to hear us ramble. We've got better things to talk about. So
we definitely do.
Let's get right to it. Joining us now, the assistant coach of the men's basketball team at Miami, assistant coach Kotie Kimble. Welcome.
What's up, guys?
What's up,
Thanks,
Coach?
Ladies. Thanks for
joining us,
on.
Coach.
Of course. Happy to be on.
Oh, we're happy you're here. Thank you so much. So before we talk hoops, because there's a ton to talk about, we have a little debate on our show. I'm not sure if Matt warned you about this debate or not.
I did not.
I got no warning.
He has no idea.
All right. So the debate
very serious
is,
business, by the way. Very serious.
Yeah, very, very.
There's a list behind us. So the debate is about the best chicken sandwich in this country. So if you could only have
country.
Well, I haven't tasted chicken sandwiches abroad, so we're just going to go in this country. If you could only eat one chicken sandwich for the rest of your life, would you go to Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
I knew it.
Chick-fil-A back on the board.
We've been making up some ground there, but it's
Popeyes got the last two, but we'll get you in the right column here. Coach DJ Irving picked Popeyes last season.
Oh, really?
I'm glad to have another men's
play all the way.
You joined Jaleel Bethea, Jack McClinton, Duran Scott, Julian Gamble on the right side of history.
We were joking that if we had like a game of like the Chick-fil-A guys against the Popeyes, it would not go well for us Popeyes guys.
Well, we can't. First of all, we don't have enough players to sub.
Yeah,
so that's problem number one. We got no rotation. It's just play the whole game.
Coach Fitz from the women's team was on 2 weeks ago and picked Popeyes, so I needed that rejuvenation of back on Team Chick-fil-A.
The Chick-fil-A list is.
Yeah, no, it's a blowout, Coach. It's a blowout. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not competitive.
We may want to
run out of
call it.
room again.
We may want to call it right now.
Well, no, Popeyes was getting some life because we got Luke Chaney and Coach Fitz picking Popeyes back-to-back weeks. So, but thank you for joining the right side.
It's been worse than it is now. So,
all right, should we get into hoops? Let's talk some hoops, shall we?
Yeah.
So you're coming into your third season with Miami. So your first season was that amazing Final Four run, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You looked at. I was like, I got that right. What? Talk about that first year at Miami and just that. I mean, this is how the show was born. Was that Final Four run? So talk about some of the memories from that season and how you plan to bring us back there this season.
Yeah, so we went to the Final Four in year 1. So should I take all the credit for that, or no? Just kidding.
100%.
Absolutely, you should. Yes,
I would.
It was a magical season. My wife and I, Janae, moved here from Charlotte, and was so thankful for the opportunity that Coach L gave us. 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. But what a great group of guys! Terrific senior class. Isaiah Wong, Jordan Miller, Anthony Walker, Harlan Beverly, Thomas Osterbrook, and then Philip. But a great group, terrific senior class. And we had a really good group of guys that really were connected, were close to each other, that bonded not only on the court, but off the court as well. So that made it, a lot of fun. And having the ability to coach guys as talented as Isaiah Wong, that was special for me. I had the opportunity to work with the guards every day. So Isaiah was just so coachable in every way, willing to do anything that's asked of him. And he's a terrific scorer. He's awesome with the ball, and obviously ACC Player of the Year, and later went on to get drafted. He was great to coach, a good kid. Jordan Miller, awesome to coach. I worked with him as well. Had the opportunity to work with him, closely, with film study, and we shot a lot and worked out a lot after practice. And he had a terrific year. Arguably he could have been our best player that year. His performance in the Texas game, where he was perfect, from the field. I think it was 9 for 9, 13 for 13 from the free throw line. Maybe I got that backwards, but what a special game that was. I mean, one of the most memorable games in my career, being in Kansas City. That will be a moment that I will always remember. Being down 13 with, I think, a little less than 10 minutes to go and able to win that game, in Big 12 country, defeating Houston first. That was special, memorable. I remember running into my wife, jumping in her arms with tears after that game. And so we're just so thankful to be here. That year was special. Even going back to winning the ACC regular season championship on our home floor. Blake Henson missing the shot at the buzzer, seeing all our fans run out on the court. That stuff that's lifetime memories. And I'm so excited that our guys, that group of guys, they have that moment forever, right? That's an experience that they have forever, and special group and memorable year.
So I know Vish was at all of the tournament games for that run, and then we all went to the Final Four. But I know as far as when you all beat Texas, I was on my living room floor crying. So thank you for that memory. The first time sports has ever made me cry.
I jumped in the pool immediately.
He's not joking. Fully.
Our levels of obsession are a bit high.
So I do have a question about that. As Melissa mentioned, I went to all of those games. So the point I was most nervous was the Drake game. When it just wasn't working. The ball wouldn't go in. It was just a frustrating game. So about 10 minutes left. What are you, as an assistant coach? You're the team can perform much better. It just feels like it's not the team's day. It's a one and done tournament. So, whatever you've done to get there, win the ACC. clearly a really great team, but just how do you like maintain that calmness because obviously the players are looking to you as the coaches too to like, all right, are they freaking out too? Because this is a moment here. So can you talk through kind of how you maintain focus and kind of kept the team locked in there, because obviously they made the comeback and then didn't lose for another 3 weeks.
We had a great game plan going into that game versus Drake. Like, we knew that Drake was a really good team, that it was actually a contrast in style. We want to play fast. We want to get up and down, shoot a lot of threes, run for layups. And Drake is the complete opposite. Like, they want to play slow. They're tough. They're hard-nosed. They want to make it a rock fight, right? So we were prepared for that as a staff, and we knew going in, like, behind closed doors, like, man, this could be a really close game. Like, this team is really good. And so when we started the game, I don't know if you remember this, but our guys were nervous. Like, it was so ugly, like that first half, like turning the ball over, missing layups, throwing the ball out of bounds. Like, we knew, like, after those first couple of media timeouts, like, okay, all right, like, we got to get these guys settled in. So Coach L is so good at giving our guys, a tremendous amount of confidence. We would say freedom, confidence. He would say responsibility. But there's just a way about him in those timeouts where he's super positive despite, what was happening on the floor. So we were calm as a staff because we knew our guys were uptight. Like, right, we're the 5 seed playing the 12 seed. And I don't know if you guys know, but the 5-12 game, the 12 is the most likely upset in the NCAA tournament. So, our guys felt the energy and they were a little nervous. So they settled in, like you said, late in the second half, unfortunately. But what we did, I think it was the maybe under 8 timeout, and there's maybe like 6 minutes left in the game or 5 minutes left in the game. And we had a timeout there, and we were just like, hey, coach, like, we're going to have to be the aggressor here. Like, we're more athletic. We're more talented. Like, let's start pressing, right? Like, so about 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, like, we put on a 4-court pressure. I think we were down 8.
Yeah.
And they couldn't handle it. Like, then the nervousness, it flipped. Like, they were like, okay, we're about to win this game, but they're like tight. And we overwhelmed them with our athleticism, with our ability to press. And they turned it over, and they took quick shots, and they became out of character. Like, we got them playing the way we wanted to play. Maybe we should have done that the whole game. I don't know. But it was great. It was a great way to finish that game. And, I feel like in the NCAA tournament, every team that makes it far, usually there's that one game that you point to say, hey, they overcame that hurdle. Other than UConn, the last 2 years, they've completely dominated. But prior to that, like, every team has overcome, like, whether it was Virginia the year they won the national championship, they had like a lucky tip out and a kick out for like 3, a Cal guy double dribbled against Purdue. Like, everyone has that moment. And so I think that was our moment last year.
I think Virginia's was the year before, losing to the 16 seed as the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they lost to the 13 seed that year too. That was when they played Furman.
Yeah, the year that we made the point.
I remember that 5-12 matchup too. I was like, going into the game, I was nervous because I think that there hadn't been a 12-5 upset yet during the tournament. So I was like, oh no.
Many experts. So many experts were picking against us.
And a lot of that was because of Norchad, right? He got hurt against Duke. No one was sure if he was going to play or not. We weren't sure. We weren't even sure. Sam Johnson, our athletic trainer, did a great job, getting him back. But he practiced, I think, the day before we played. And I'm telling you, if we would have played on Thursday instead of Friday, I don't think he could have played. So we got lucky there with the late tip. Not only did we play on Friday, but if I remember correctly, it was like one of the later games of the night.
It was.
So he had so much time to recover.
I remember. I was stressing all day.
Yeah. No.
I'm sure you were too, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
And then obviously, like the in my head, this shouldn't matter, but I was like, oh boy, we're never gonna live down all the don't pick us stuff if we lose the first game.
I thought that was gonna jinx us so bad.
Instead, it all came together nicely.
That was a good that video I watched a bunch after because I'm like, it's all right, don't pick us. We made the Final Four. That works. That's good.
No,
and having Jordan be like the main guy on that like worked perfect too.
Yeah, what a great idea by our social media team.
I was just worried it was gonna jinx us because like the teams in the past that have done that have like gotten knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, for sure.
Was there any pressure as far as like the year before they had made the Elite Eight? And we had a few good core pieces that came back, and obviously into the transfer portal we had gotten Norchad and Nigel, and some good depth off the bench. At the beginning of the season, did you guys think like, hey, this we could go far with this team, like, or
you know what, our team was so different in a way. Although we returned key pieces, Jordan Miller was like the fourth or fifth starter on that team, so he was coming back playing a different role that he was very excited about playing. Stepping up, taking more of a leadership role, being relied on a little more in our system offensively. So, and then, Isaiah Wong was coming back as, he was an all ACC guy, I think the year before, but again, he's taking a bigger role. Like Cam Augusty was first team all ACC that year. So he was going to play a bigger role that I think he was excited to play. So, and then adding Nigel and Norchad and Wilga Poplar, who didn't play the year before, but played, started on that team. I don't think they felt that pressure. The group did a really good job of just preparing every day just to get like a little bit better, right? Like preparation. I feel like we came to practice every day, just focused on getting better. And the thing that I think is I was most impressed with as a coach is I felt like we got better. We were playing a lot better basketball towards the end of the year than we were at the beginning of the year. And in the tournament, we got better. Like we improved every day. And I think as a coach, like that's what you're ultimately looking for. Did you maximize the effort? Did we get the most out of that team? And I felt like we did.
For sure.
Yeah. So we do have some questions from our viewers. So let's start with this one from Sean Rochester, which friends of our network should know. He's all over, produces a bunch of our shows, appears front stage on some of them too, but he's Philly-based, if you're unfamiliar with him. And question about Jaleel and kind of what you think he's going to bring to the team this season.
Sean, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Jaleel's been great. He's had a terrific summer. He is, one of our most talented players as you've seen him play. He's the thing that I think I was most surprised by as a coach is I've seen him play, but I didn't realize he was as athletic as he is. And he has the ability to touch the paint, when he wants to. He's a terrific scorer. He takes and makes big shots. He's done that this summer. He doesn't shy away from shots. He's been great. He's aggressive offensively, and he's learning what's a good shot, what's a bad shot. But I think he's going to be a special player for us this year. He's talented, man. We're thrilled. We're really excited about him. He's going to make an instant impact, I think, for our team.
Coach, can I ask, so while we're on the topic of Jaleel and just in regards to some of the other freshmen too, because obviously you recruit these guys, you see film and whatnot, but you're not really seeing them play every day, right? Now you've seen them play a good amount. What are some things that maybe have stuck out to you that maybe you didn't realize about some of these guys as players or as people as well?
Well, this is a great freshman class. I mean, I think we're ranked 9th in the country at the end of it, by different composite rankings. We're thrilled, and this group can really help us, and we think they'll contribute on the floor. And Jaleel's just his talent, his athleticism, his ability to score the ball, his ability to play make. He led us this summer in assists, and that was a huge surprise, for me. Austin Swartz, 6'5", great size, can really shoot it. I mean, he's a legit 6'5", and he shoots the ball really well. I think he shot 40% from three this summer against college guys in our practice. So, that was good to see. And Isaiah Johnson-Arigu, talented forward from Minnesota, is a super athlete, versatile, maybe can play multiple positions for us, the 4, the 3 a little bit. He's had a good summer, and he's athletic, powerful kid. Like, he's a strong freshman. And then our latest addition, Divine from Texas, is a consummate point guard. I mean, he can get other guys shots. He's really good in a ball screen situation, and he's athletic and fast as well. So this is a group that we're excited about. We're glad they're here. And, the challenge in college athletics these days are keeping them around. So
I think especially with the freshman class and what you guys have done in the portal this offseason. I mean, I know you guys have given us a lot to talk about this offseason. It seems like, especially like the situation last year where injuries and depth was an issue, it doesn't seem like depth is really going to be an issue this year, where you have guys that could step into multiple different roles, and even if somebody goes down, the next man up, you're not really that concerned. Am I right to assume that? Or
yeah, we're 13 strong this year. We're 13 guys strong, scholarship guys. I think last year we were at 11. And practice has been very competitive this summer. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are capable of playing for this team. And it's Coach L's job as the head coach to figure out who those best guys are. But yes, injuries is a part of the game. Unfortunately, that affected us in a negative way last year because we just didn't have quality depth that we needed to replace those guys. But we have quality depth this year. We have a lot of guys that are, capable of stepping up. I mean, we have 7 seniors, and a lot of those guys have played at college games. They played different roles, for different teams, but they were all impactful in their own way with their programs. So, along with those guys, to be able to return a guy like Nigel Pack, who's vital. I mean, he's been awesome. He's been awesome for us while he's here. He was a part of that Final Four run. So when you return a guy like Nigel Pack and Matt Cleveland and Paul Jobay, those guys, good nucleus, been a part of what we're about. It makes for a good group and a fun group. This is going to be a team that Hurricane fans will be excited to watch. There's no doubt about it. I love this team and I love this group, and we just got to connect. The key is going to be how well we connect, right? There's 10 new pieces, and so connecting those guys and getting them all on the same accord is going to be our challenge as coaches.
Bill's question kind of leads as a.
I was going to go into that.
There you go.
I was going to ask something.
You don't need to give away any trade secrets here. So, but you mentioned 10 new players, and I know your focus is defense. How difficult is it to get them all? Because defense, you got to play. Like, you can ISO ball and do some things offensively. Where defense, if you don't have 5 guys connected, it's not going to work. So how difficult is that with all these new players? And I mean, not. And different types of players, I would say, in terms of size and kind of length at positions.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, you're starting all over, and a lot of that starts in June. We're fortunate to get our guys here so early. Like our transfers were here by June, some of them mid-May, and our freshmen after the first week in June, they're all here. So we've had the summer to really establish a base. Kind of teaching overall concepts of, hey, this is what we're about, in our man-to-man defense. This is our expectations. This is where you should be. This is what we're trying to accomplish, as a whole. And then we've broken it down some, but we wanted them to get a understanding of our defense, of our offense and those things. So we started that this summer, and, our guys have an understanding of, what we're trying to accomplish as a group. And now it really is about hammering out those details even more, over these next, 10 weeks, 11 weeks before we play a game.
Coach, you talk about the depth already and stuff, but can you talk a little bit about the versatility? Because I feel like we have a lot of guys that can do different things on the court. Can you talk?
You froze up there for a second.
Oh, did I freeze?
I think if you can just talk about the versatility of the team.
Yeah. So we got a versatile group. Yes, we're different than last year. We're bigger. I think that's
No more
really
smaller ball.
that's a really nice change for us. Having Lynn Kidd, a 6'10" guy that you can really truly throw the ball inside on the block and he can go get a bucket. Like, he's a low post scorer. He's extremely efficient on the block. And so that's different. That makes us more versatile. We didn't really have that option last year to do that. Having a bigger front court guy like a Brandon Johnson from East Carolina, who's 6'8", average 14 points a game in East Carolina, is a really good shooter, right? He can stretch the floor. He shot 36%, I think, from three at East Carolina, but this summer he shot like 48% from three with us. So
he shoots it deep too.
Yeah, and he has range. So having the ability like a guy beside Lynn potentially that can really shoot it like that and stretch the floor. I mean, last year we played Matt Cleveland at the 4th spot. I mean, he's 6'5", maybe. And so for him to be able to move to a 3 to play at the wing, like, that's more of his natural position. So he'll be a better player because of that. And so we're bigger, in some cases, hey, maybe we could, and we can play big in the ACC, but if we play a team in a non-conference that might start 5 guards, we still have the ability to maybe, hey, Brandon Johnson, can you move over to the 5, and can we switch ball screens and do some different things? So this is a different team from those things. I love our guards. Obviously Nigel Pack, who's, awesome. And, Jalen Blackman, a guy that have the ability he scored 21 points a game at Stetson. I think he made 110 threes. Like, that's impressive. I don't care what level you're playing at. So we'll be able to shoot the ball well, and we'll be bigger. And if we need to play small, we can do that. We have options.
Yeah.
You mentioned Brandon Johnson. So, like, people who have watched the show for a long time know my favorite position is stretch 4. Like, I love it. We won't get into my favorite player because the guys will kill me. But as far as bringing in height with Lynn Kidd, Kyrie Huey, having Brandon Johnson as a stretch 4, being able to have Cleveland back at the 3 and moving pieces around, can you just talk about what that does for spacing for all the guards that's on the team as far as the shooters? We know Jalen Blackman can score. We know Jaleel can score. Nigel Pack can shoot out of the gym. Talk about what that does for the offense as far as spacing when you've got a 6'10" guy in the paint that can do it. Brandon Johnson can play down low. He can play at the line, all of these things. But how that just makes setting up your offense so much easier.
Where spacing is everything, right? Like, if you got a guy that's 6'8" that can shoot the ball from 30 feet, like, that just opens up the lane. And then so now you have a guy like Jaleel Bethea, who's athletic and can make plays and can touch the paint and can score. Like, he has great space to play with because he's got Nigel Pack, who's one of the best shooters in the country, right? Jalen Blackman, who can make a 3, right? Matt Cleveland, who's a much improved shooter. He's had a great summer shooting the ball. So it just opens up the lane. It gives guys space to play, whether that's off the dribble, whether it's off the cut, whether it's in our ball screen game, when our 5 is sprinting the ball screen, we got 4 shooters surrounding them. Like, who takes Lynn Kidd when he's rolling to the basket if there's 4 guys on the perimeter that can shoot? Like, that's what we have. So it's huge. I mean, Melissa, like, having a guy even at the 4th spot that can shoot. There's not a lot of guys in the ACC that can shoot the ball from all 4 spots, right? Like, so there's going to be times this year that we have 4 guys on the floor that can shoot the 3. So that should be exciting for Hurricane Nation.
So just, you got a shout out in the chat. Jackson's a senior at UM. We just want to say, hey, he's talked to you on campus a few times. So
Jackson, what's up, my guy?
I think there was a recruiting question.
Yep.
Obviously, you can't speak to actual, like.
Yeah, it's more just, yeah.
Right
so
now.
This is the questions from Kane's Cat's Heat, who we know his real name, but this is what he goes by on the internet. Just a question on how kind of the messaging has changed over time. So obviously 2023, when you got here, as Melissa said, coming off an Elite 8, then coming off a Final Four, and then last year with the injuries, and wasn't the best season. We'll put it that way.
What's the impact been too since the Elite 8, the Final Four run, right?
Yeah, and then kind of how's the messaging changed over time since you've been here?
Well, the impact from the Final Four, the Elite 8 run is terrific. I mean, the proof is in the pudding as far as the highest ranked recruiting class in school history. And I think that was a result of what guys have done that's come before them. And so that success is vital. It's vital for us moving forward. And, everyone loves a winner. And so the more success you can have, it all helps. Our messaging to the 2025 class, well, one thing for sure is the opportunity is going to be there. I mean, we have 7 seniors that we're going to lose, that we know that we're going to lose. We have a guy like Jalil Bethea. Who knows what's going to happen over the next 7 to 8 months. But right now, he's a projected first-round lottery pick. So you could potentially lose 8 guys. And so there's an opportunity to play, right? And who knows what's going to happen in the spring with the transfer portal. All we can do is see this is what's in front of us. So there's a lot of playing time. We're going to have a lot of new faces next year. So I think that will be intriguing, to the 2025 class. And, as always, this isn't talked about enough. How great of a university is the University of Miami? Like, it's a top 50 institution academically in the country. It's really the best of both worlds. You got a chance to earn a degree from one of the best in the country. You got a chance to play in the ACC, and you get to live in Miami. Like, not a lot of people have that opportunity. So, we're extremely fortunate and blessed that, we have a place like this to sell. And this community is awesome. I mean, everyone loves the U in the city. Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't want to come to school here? So we're excited about the class of 25. There's some great prospects in that class. Some right here close by home. Names, but we've been on it. So.
Can you talk about, though? You mentioned the weather, you mentioned the school and all of these things, but the opportunity to play under Coach Larinaga and the kind of the legend that he is and what he's done for college basketball.
Actually, as you're answering that, as you're answering that, though, we have a question in the chat, which I hope you can layer in. So you mentioned earlier, you don't have to read the whole thing. I'll summarize. You mentioned earlier he gives them freedom, but with responsibility. Can you talk about his style? And like you said, he's a legend. You get to play for Coach L, but you talk about like what his coaching style is like and how that he gets that, because I would say he gets that. That's a tough balance to right amount of responsibility, but not too much where it's just like out of control. And he seems to put the guardrails in exactly the right place to allow players to achieve. Do you talk about that and kind of playing for him?
Yeah, Coach L is a Hall of Famer. I mean, he is our biggest sell. Like, our kids love the opportunity to play for a guy like that. I mean, there's no question about it. And Coach has this philosophy that he talks about a lot. It's the ability to train, then trust, right? That's where the responsibility comes in. Is he trains our players in practice to perform and know his level of expectation, whether it's offensively or defensively. And then on game day, like, he trusts them to go out and perform and be the best versions of themselves. So our players understand that freedom within boundaries, right? Like, this is our expectation, but go be yourself. And he's mastered that. I mean, he's allowed guys I think what's unique I talked about a guy like Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller earlier. Those guys got drafted, a couple years ago. Keyshawn George, he got drafted a year ago. But the thing that's most impressive, I think, is none of those guys were on any draft boards before they got to the University of Miami. They weren't ranked very high. Maybe Isaiah was ranked in the 80s, but they weren't ranked highly. But yet they develop in our program. And because of the freedom and responsibility that Coach L gives them, they're able to thrive and go on and do great things. And as a result, they're, playing in the NBA, or going to have the opportunity to play in the NBA. So Coach L is the best. He's mastered it. And our guys, he's a great communicator. I mean, I think he's a phenomenal teacher and an unbelievable communicator. So there's really no questions on his expectations. I think our guys are very clear on what he expects.
Coach, I want to go back to recruiting a bit. So I asked Coach Fitz the same question, and I want to ask you. So I'm a high school basketball coach. I have a few guys that are kind of getting recruited. What are the things that really stick out to you when you're, going out and watching guys play, maybe off the court as well.
Yeah, I think every coach have their own specific things that they're looking for, right? Like, there may be some coaches that recruit to their system. Like for us, we play fast. We love guards who can really score the ball at a high level. We value skill, like guys that can dribble, pass, and shoot. You'll notice that being consistent from all our guards. We like big guys that are athletic, that can get out and defend the ball screen, that can rebound at a high level, but also could, score, if need be on the low post, but have a factor. So I think those things are important. But I think things that, go unnoticed is like, what kind of teammate are you? Are you a good teammate? What's your body language like, when things aren't going well? Are you on the bench pouting because you got subbed out or you haven't been subbed in? Like, what's your attitude like? We have 3 core values here that we talk about a lot with our team. And we also look for in recruiting, attitude, commitment, and class. And that attitude piece is real. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. Well, we look for that in recruiting. How are guys reacting to, situations that are happening to them in adverse times? Are you committed to your craft? Like totally, how hard do you work? Like we talk to coaches all the time. Like, what is he like after practice? Like, does he work on his game? Does he get up in the morning? Does he come in? Does he get shots up? Like those things matter. How does he carry himself? Does he carry himself in a first-class manner? What kind of student is he? So those are the intangible things I think that all coaches are looking for in kids that I think, goes unnoticed.
Are you a hooper? Do you play with the guys? I know Coach Irving had said that.
No, DJ is the guy on staff that's on the floor much. I am 38 years old, and our guys.
Hey, don't call me old.
Years young, you mean?
I'm 38 also. Don't call me old.
No, I'm on the floor, but it's teaching and coaching. And no, I'm definitely not practicing with the guys.
Has Coach L worked on his dance moves for this season? Is he getting even better than he already was?
I haven't seen those yet. He hasn't pulled them out yet, but I don't know what he's doing back home with Mrs. L. He may be break them out then. So no, it's coach is great with that. He has so much fun with our guys. And those moments that you saw in the tournament is, more for the guys. Like they enjoy it. He has fun with it. So hopefully we can have a run like that and you guys can see some of those moves again.
The locker room clips after wins are some of my favorite clips, especially in 2013 when we made the tournament in the Sweet 16 and he was doing the Muhammad Ali dance. But no, Coach L's some great dance moves.
I think there's like a meme of that somewhere. Like
yeah, that's all over. That's all everything.
Over the place.
Yeah. So, any other questions, guys? That was a quick 30 minutes. I just looked at the clock and realized that we've been chatting for 30 minutes. Real quick, before we let you go, Coach, we got to get your opinion because I've asked this to a couple of the players and a few of the coaches. So last season, it's about the uniforms, and Vish is actually wearing it. Last season, Adidas unveiled the Coral Gables trolley bright yellow uniforms. Any opinion on those, or what did you think of those uniforms?
Well, I think we wore those uniforms the day that my wife gave birth to my daughter, Kennedy. And so I missed that game, but it's the only game I missed of my career, I guess for good reasons. But because of that, I love those uniforms. I think of Kennedy every time I see him and I watch those games, but they're awesome. Our guys like them. They have fun. They play really well in them. So we like those uniforms.
That's the correct answer. You've redeemed yourself for the Chick-fil-A stuff now. So
I agreed with you on Chick-fil-A, but I disagree with you on the.
They've been roasting me because I was like, I actually like that jersey, and I bought it because they were being so negative about it.
The yellow, it's
the yellow throws it off. But hey, now you know why I like that uniform, though.
But you have a good reason, though.
Yeah,
you do have a good. I can't hate on you for that. So, Matt, any other nerd talk? before
Matt,
we
you
let
got
Coach Kimble
anything?
go.
Matty
Nerd.
Ice. I like
Yeah.
the nickname.
He dropped
Yeah.
nuggets.
Matt's our breakdown guy.
I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of the stuff I wouldn't want to bore people on the air. I would probably DM you and stuff, but
Yeah,
we're about to start our season. They start, let me think, school starts in like 2 weeks. So I'm helping, my buddy got the job at my old high school, so
Which
I'm
high
his
school is
assistant.
that?
So I'm in Southern California.
He's in California. He's
Oh,
on the
you're in
wrong.
Southern Cal?
Yeah, he's on
Yeah.
the wrong side of the country. This guy.
Man.
I'm the only one that actually lives in Miami full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Vish,
so
where
I'm-
are you, Vish?
I'm
He's
in
in
DC.
DC.
Oh, you're in DC? The
Yeah.
DMV? Man, you
Yes.
guys are in all great cities. I
Yeah.
love that.
Me and Vish are alums of the school.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
our love goes deep back, way back.
What year did you guys graduate?
Oh boy.
undergrad Vish was what, 03 Vish?
03.
And
Yep.
I was 08. And then we both also got masters from the school as well.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
I got thrown out of a game as a student. So if in case you were wondering how much I love hoops, it got to the point where the refs kicked me out.
Well,
I love
Melissa
the
here, you can't tell by looking at her. She decided it was a good idea to wave money at the refs, and they went and told event security, and they escorted her out of the building. So
that was a long time ago.
She's calmed down since. She's calmed
Hey,
down.
we need that energy.
A little
We
bit.
need that energy. We need that energy inside the Watt.
Listen, Sean Hull just didn't appreciate my passion for
Oh, it
Kane.
was Sean who did it? Oh, wow.
I mean,
I remember everything.
you were implying he was on the take. So I mean, there's
I think it was during the Tim Donaghy scandal too. So it was probably not one of my brighter. Well, it wasn't my idea. I was just following my friend. But in hindsight, it probably wasn't the best of ideas. But you know what? It was a great memory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
many
the
people can
moment
say
you will
that?
never forget.
Matt, go ahead. Finish what you were going to say. We totally interrupted you.
Oh, I don't even remember. Oh no,
You're talking about coaching high school.
Southern Cal.
Oh yeah, Southern Cal. Yeah, so we're undersized, so we're gonna have to play a lot faster. We're trying to implement. We're gonna try to do some Princeton stuff as well.
Man. That's
Yeah,
right up my alley.
Oh really? Okay,
Oh,
we'll have to talk off air about it then.
Yeah.
But it's just some of these guys in high school, they don't understand how to read the defense yet, right?
Yeah.
Like that first split screen, they don't know. Oh, I should have curled here. I should have just popped straight out. It's we got to drill it out a lot. So that's kind of what we're. That's where we're kind of at right now. So we'll have to talk about that though.
Yeah, sure. DM me. Hit me anytime.
Yeah. So I was the one DMing you from that Kane's Calling account.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
I'll have to hit
That's
you
his
up.
old podcast account until he came to the better one.
Yeah, he upgraded.
It's because I have all my connections through there. Like everyone I talk to from UM basketball or football or whatever. So I just didn't want to make a new account.
Okay.
Any suggestions for who we should try to get on the show next, Coach? Or try to. Not everyone's easily accessible.
Yeah. You guys got Nigel Pack on here yet?
Not yet.
No.
But if you have a connection and want to help us out, that would be my dream person to get on the show.
We'll get him on here.
Let's go.
Okay.
I plan on buying a 24 jersey this year as soon as it goes under NIL so that Nigel can profit from that.
There you go.
Great.
Okay. All right.
I guess one last kind of softball to end here, Coach.
Yeah, sure.
So you've been in Miami a couple of years now. You mentioned love the city and all that. What's your we asked chicken sandwiches, but generally, what's your favorite food spot?
Oh man, my wife and I, we go out to eat a lot.
I see it on Instagram, man.
Yeah,
the women's coaches apparently go to Monty's a lot. So
that's not that's
favorite dinner spot. You know what? I really enjoy Makoto up in Ball Harbor. It's a good Asian sushi inspired spot. My wife and I, we really like that spot. You got the Miami spots like Carbone that everyone likes. We've been there and it's a good spot. But I think Makoto, I would say Makoto up in Ball Harbor. We really enjoy that place a lot. There's a lot of great places to eat. I mean, you got Zuma. Come on, we have a running list. There's probably over 100 restaurants, and we've probably been to 98 of them. But it's Miami's a great food city, and so
Hey,
there's
let me know if you're in
Zzz's.
Southern
There's a place
California.
called Zzz's in the Design District. That's awesome as well. I went there the other night and had a great fillet. It's big time.
There you go.
Matt,
Let me know when you're in.
once you're done getting tips for basketball, get his food list also.
I know that's what I'm gonna do
Yeah.
for Southern
Yeah.
California. You ever come down here, I'll give you a list.
Yeah, I would love that, and we'll be all
There we
over it.
go.
I mean, Cal. Well, that's not really Southern California, but
No,
Cal and
that's
Stanford are now in the ACC. So
That's a
Where are you,
6-hour
Cal?
drive.
Where are you in Southern Cal? So you got Long Beach. Did you go to Long Beach?
Yeah, I went to Long Beach State.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Go
so
Beach.
it's Go Beach. I'm in Fountain Valley, so it's right next to Huntington Beach,
Okay.
Surf City, USA. So
Sure.
Southern California. But
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah.
we should
Well,
have given
Coach-
Coach. We should have given Coach the option for Bojangles when he said he was from the Carolinas. So.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was
Coach
kind of
Coach
Coach
Meyer
Meyer
said
broke our
Bojangles, even
game.
though we didn't give her the option.
She just said Bojangles.
She refused. She's
Bojangles.
like, I'm from North Carolina. I can't. I'm just. She broke the game. She's not on the board. We've interviewed her multiple
Thank you
times.
for staying on topic, Coach.
Yeah, I
So,
stayed on top.
Yeah, we've
That's
interviewed her multiple times, and she is not on the board because she refused to
No.
play our
we
game.
named the show, but she's not on the
Yeah,
board.
she actually
but
named our
she's-
show. Yeah,
But it's okay.
she
She's
named
up
it.
here. She's up here. It's
Oh,
okay.
great.
We got Coach Meyer, Coach Larinaga. We're good.
Coach Meyer and I play a lot of golf together. So I'm not
okay.
Oh.
surprised.
Ooh.
I'm
Who's
not
got the better
surprised
golf
she's-
game? Careful,
I'll
she
let-
might watch this.
Yeah, she may be watching, so we're gonna let her decide.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you.
guys for
That
having me
was
on. It's
amazing,
great.
yeah.
You're welcome back
Thank you, Coach.
anytime, and
Yeah, absolutely.
we're gonna tell Nigel that you said he has to come on the show. So
Yeah, he has to. It's a
All right.
must. All right, see
All
you
right.
guys.
See
All
you,
right.
good luck
Coach.
this season,
Thank you
Coach. Have a
again.
good night.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
That
I
was
love
awesome.
how Vish is in our group text saying this might be the best interview we've ever done.
Well, I mean, that's the reason I did it in the group chat instead of the private chat. It's because he can read the private chat. So thank you for
No, I
just blurting it out. But no, that was so
I
good.
love it. Well, no, it's just like I love. I mean, we had
It
him
was
for the
because
most
of
part,
him.
but
It was 'cause of him.
it
His
was just
answers
because
were-
he's expanded on so much stuff, and it just led into other things. Like I had so many other questions I didn't even get to because we just kept getting led into other stuff. But to start, Gary's not here, but he picked Chick-fil-A, so it is now 10-5. I'm gonna have to redo the board again to make more space. I'm gonna have to write the name smaller.
Or
God.
we can initiate an ad campaign.
We need
where
a
people
shooter.
actually
We
eat
need a
proper
shooter,
chicken.
Vish. Hopefully, Nigel's a Popeyes guy.
But I will say next week.
We need Danielle, Coach Page.
Next week, Coach Danielle Page of the women's team is going to be on the show, and I told her that we have the debate, and she had said she hadn't had Popeyes in a while, so she's literally going to get Popeyes before we have the show next week. So she makes
Honest,
sure
it doesn't even matter what she picks to me. Then, like, she's taking this very. I appreciate that.
Also,
to be
Matt,
honest.
Chick-fil-A was picked, and Coach Kimble likes the trolley jerseys, so that was like the ultimate.
It was not your day.
I mean,
Look at
does
this.
He's like, yeah, the yellow.
I read that in the Popeyes commercial too.
I know, so did I.
I totally
Louisiana
sang that in
chicken.
my head.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. Anyway,
Also,
so
should we address the rest of my board also?
CCH. We're not going to ask the coach about what you are calling a secret. We don't have like millions of people watching, but if something is a secret, we probably wouldn't talk about it on stream.
Why not?
I don't know. Let me unpack that a little bit and figure out why we might not be a good idea to do that. But yes, let's talk about the rest of your board list. In fact, let's do this so people can see it clearly. So why don't you point out the rest of your board? Yeah.
So for those of you who follow our Twitter page, I announced that we would be. I'm assuming you guys know that I have a hoodie line that it was released in May with aboutthefans.com. So to our viewers of Buckets who want to get a hoodie, but maybe it's like, oh, it's a little too expensive. There is now a 10% discount code for our Buckets following. If you put HG and the number 10, so HG10, you can get 10% off any one of the 4 hoodies. So aboutthefans.com, search hoodie girl, and the 4 hoodies will come up. I'm wearing one of them. This is my logo hoodie. It's my favorite. I think it's also Vish's favorite. But you guys may like the Larinaga Meyer 23 hoodie. It's like a presidential collection type hoodie, and it says Final Four and Elite 8 on it. So for our basketball viewers, you can get 10% off if you use the code HG10. So please buy a hoodie. I appreciate it. We might have 3 days of winter here. It'd be totally appropriate when it hits like the 60s. And if you're me and Vish and you're going to the Cal game in October, the Bay always has hoodie weather. So just saying. HG10 aboutthefans.com. Good stuff.
Yep. So I
They're like our
look,
unofficial sponsor.
we do need to talk a little bit more about the trolley jerseys and how just the positive association that Coach has and
the team wore them on the day that he had his kid. So I mean, there was no way he was going to say he disliked them.
That might be true. However, he did say the players loved them. They play well in them.
Did we win that game?
Yes, we won the men's and the women's game in the trolley jersey, which last year was quite the feat. So,
well, you know what? We can ask Nigel about him too when he's on.
Yes, we can.
Man, the coaches are not giving us easy tasks because Coach Fitch said Haley Camater. So
I mean, Nigel's probably a more attainable question mark. I mean, definitely than
I'm gonna have to clip that and then tag her and see if we can get a bite. But I'm not confident.
Well, first of all, we'd have to do them. We'd have to have both the Cavenders, right?
Yeah, we would do both. No way we just have one. But yeah, again, we're gonna have Coach Danielle Page on the show next week, Thursday night, 8 p.m. next week. We have a 2-part Mount Rushmore / Trashmore this week and next week.
Yes.
So something to look forward to. And then we were gonna do NBA grid, but there was too much going on today, and Matt's been busy, and that's a lot on Matt to ask him to do NBA grid. So we'll save that for next week.
You're letting them know that Matt gives all the answers for NBA grid, Melissa. Way to go.
Anybody who watches the show knows that Matt does 99% of NBA grid.
That was the joke. When we accidentally get one where it's like, oh shit, I got one of the squares this week.
Nazir Mohammed.
There was a show last off season where me and Vish did NBA grid without Matt, and
did you really?
Yes.
It was not good.
We got it done.
I think we tried to keep it under 10%. I think that was the goal.
No, it was we did it legitimately. Just it was. I think we said under 2%. It was a low enough number where it wasn't like embarrassingly bad. But no, I think we got lucky with a couple. I think some of our old friends, Nazir Mohammed, Anthony Tolliver, were on there. So we got those are like free squares because we're gonna plug them in regardless.
Our usual go-tos.
Yeah. So we were able to.
I'm just kidding.
And I think we might have done one with the Heat or the Mavericks on it too, so it was a little cheating there. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it was
one where we had players.
We knew.
Yeah.
Knew some of the history of it. But yeah, no, we have tried, and that was that's the last time we're doing that. So yeah, that was that.
I feel like that interview could have gone like another hour. Like,
oh, for sure. And
I kept looking at the time, and I'm like, oh my god, we're keeping him forever. Oh my god.
And I'm ready for the opening game now. He's
right?
fired up. You can tell he's excited for this team.
But it's so crazy how everyone talks about Jalil's assists, because when we interviewed him last offseason, he was like, my assists, my passing is the most underrated part of my game. He wasn't wrong. So should we go on to Mount Rushmore?
Oh man.
Are we ready?
I'm winging it.
I only have 2.
So Vish, explain our Mount Rushmore today.
So also, I'm curious in the chat, if you've heard the term sliding doors moment, but essentially it's something that seems trivial that then causes a pretty massive shift in activity. It's kind of a form of butterfly effect, essentially.
So it wasn't a Mount Rushmore of our favorite sliding doors that we've ever.
But that led to a good moment. That said something good. And then next week it's going to be something that led to something bad.
No, Matt was making a joke about actual physical sliding doors that you stepped all over, Melissa. But anyway, I knew
it's okay. I'm used to it.
Me and Matt had no idea what he was talking about in the chat. We thought it was a typo.
Yeah, that was yesterday. I'm talking about right now. The second Matt was making a sliding doors joke when you stepped all over.
It's fine.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We know we're just lucky to allow us.
There's a bird like checking out the window right now, like just staring over here, and I'm just like, don't do it, buddy.
Also,
should I kamikaze that or not?
Can we mention Coach Kimble noticing the Long Beach banner?
Oh, he knows, man.
Yeah, he knows.
It spreads.
The beach.
We got to go beach in there.
Oh,
I
man.
said go beach. I
Annie
said
loves Annie. Oh,
Oh.
here we go.
our guy.
Oh no.
MF
what are we-
Doom. Oh, Scrubs.
Yes,
Scrubs.
I am in the healthcare field too, so that's quite
That worked.
accurate.
You could have actually had a picture of her in an actual scrub instead of
Yeah, I
this.
know. That's me 3 or 4 times a week, actually. So I'm assuming MF Doom is coming over from the Flow because they had the For the Culture show at the same time that we started.
I mean,
So.
he missed that Kotie Kimble interview. Definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Either here or on the audio podcast if you want to do that, which will be out after I edit this and put it out.
Also, I want to shout out my guy, Coach Coop, because he released a video today and he was wearing the hurricane warning hoodie in that video. So shout out to my guy Coop for rocking a hoodie girl hoodie.
That his UF this track is percolating. So
yeah, he did a week 0 preview of Florida State Georgia Tech, but he wore one of my hoodies on his channel for the first time. He wore the hurricane warning hoodie. I was very excited when I went to go watch that, and I was like, I know that hoodie. So it's also the hoodie that MF Doom won. So, and I think we said when we get to 1,000 followers on Twitter, we were going to give away another one, right? Is that what we said? We're at 720 currently.
I don't know. You could always just decree it.
I do when I feel like being a dictator. All right.
Man.
you know, if you're a dictator when you feel like it, you're just a dictator.
Well, I have to give off the illusion that this is a democracy.
We're like we're voting in North Korea or something. Is that what's happened?
Nice hat, Vish. Where'd you get it?
It was given to me as a blessed gift from our righteous leader. I was fortunate enough to be rewarded for being compliant with all policy, and it was bequeathed.
It was a gift for another trip around the sun.
That is accurate.
All right. Okay.
All right. So we never fully explained what it was. So
yeah,
essentially, we're doing sliding door zones, which again is something seeming truly trivial or something that causes a major impact. And since it's Mount Rushmore, major positive impact on any Miami sport, a cane sport.
For example, can I give my first one?
Yeah, you can give your first one.
I think me and Vish might have the same first one. We're gonna allow repeats because this was like hard to think of. But for example, Frank Haith leaving to go to Missouri caused us to hire Coach L, which turned into the best coach we've ever had in Miami basketball history.
There you go.
Yep, that's one. Matt, do you want to go next, or do you want me to?
I'll go next. I guess I'll go with the one I told you guys off camera already.
You told Vish, you didn't tell me.
But you heard it though. We talked about it. The Blake Hidson missing the half-court buzzer beater. I mean, a lot of implications. If he would have made that shot beat us, we wouldn't have won the ACC. Seeding would have been different. Could have been in a different section of the bracket.
Could have met UConn earlier.
Yeah, because what seed was UConn was a...
They were also a 4, so we theoretically could have hit them in the second round anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just never know. So I guess that'll be my first one. I don't know what else. I need to come up with some more.
What is going on? I'm trying. It's too small.
Who else is in
I
there?
think it's the host of for the culture.
Okay.
The sub.
Who's the sub? Like, there's a head on the...
Doom, can you DM that to the buckets?
Yeah, I need to see what that is, Doom.
Well, that's going on. I'll do my first. So I have a lot more, actually not that much more than Melissa, but a lot more memory of Miami sports. So I'm loath to pick one that could be picked by either of you. However, screw that. So because we can't do repeats. So I will say in the 2013 season, Reggie Johnson getting injured initially, not when he was out for the year at the very end, allowed Julian Gamble coming back from injury to get a lot more playing time and grow as a player, which is actually what gave us that monster front court by the time we hit January and he came back. If Reggie had been healthy the whole year, I don't know that Julian Gamble has that opportunity to play as much, get those minutes, get back into court action, because remember, he'd missed the last year with an injury, and actually allow those three to work together well, which they did when we got ACC play.
Can I take one real quick while you mentioned Julian Gamble?
I have one with him also.
Yeah, can I say his decision to stay here, because it was likely he was going to transfer.
He told us, right?
Yeah.
Well, but on top of that, also that knee injury that caused him to sit out that year gave him that extra year to come back.
That's true.
So he didn't transfer. Plus, that knee injury gave him another year to play on that team. So, like, that whole situation of Reggie being injured, but also Julian's knee injury, Matt saying that his decision not to transfer, but his injury keep giving him that other year. So that's one for me and one for Matt, because that was
you both just like stole my shit. All right, here we go.
Yep,
so
you're up again, Vish.
All right, well, here's another one that now I feel no guilt about, like, going right into your backyards. So getting blown out by Dayton in that tournament in November of the Elite 8 year, and Coach L said, this isn't working. We changed up the entire way we play, which is where the small ball came out of. And out of that,
Wasn't it the Alabama game?
No, we got blown out by Alabama too, but it was Dayton who was terrible, that killed us. It was definitely Thanksgiving weekend, because I was cooking and watching the game on a laptop, and I was like, we're so bad. And then all right, we got to do a rethink. And that led to what ended up being a Elite 8 and then Final Four, playing a completely different style, which I asked him about at the ACC tip-off last year, actually, because the team we were talking about in 2013, ton of size, powerful, a lot of pick and roll, with Melissa's guy, Kenny Kaji, at the stretch for there. I did it for you, so now it's been happening. And then to completely shift to, we're going to, do a lot of motion on the offense. It's completely different from what he had played before. And it took, Alabama blew us out too. We got blown out. If you look at that November, look, we were obviously all wrong, and the people doing this were wrong, but it's not hard looking at the previous few seasons and how that one started to understand why when we got to March and we're blowing Auburn out and we're beating Iowa State and we're in the Elite Eight, people say, man, back in November, they thought this should be his last season and he should get fired. It's not. Obviously, that was wrong, and he proved wrong again and again and again, but it was that bad. That November, like that, the beginning of that Elite Eight season was a disaster, and it forced that is a slide. If we had actually played reasonably, like if we lost a bunch of close games, I don't know that we make any changes. Like, oh, we're almost there, let's stick with it.
Yeah,
we don't make the Elite Eight then.
No, I think it's a great one. I'm gonna take it as my third, so I don't.
What's your third?
You stole mine again.
Just whatever Vish said. Oh wait, wrong way. Ditto. Oh wait, that was the right way. Wait,
I'm gonna have to get Blue on here to talk about.
I'm so lost.
He's stealing. He's stealing my ideas.
I'm stealing his idea. I like that one.
What's the idea? The Dayton game?
Yes.
I'll just say both games. That whole, because it was that tournament, right? The ESPN. What was it, like the ESPN something classic or whatever?
Yeah, it was Dayton on Thursday, and then we snuck out.
It was the one at Disney. It was at Disney World, right?
Yeah, it was 3 games in 4 days. We beat North Texas by 6, lost to Dayton by 16.
Mean Green, man.
And Alabama by 32.
So you're both taking the Dayton game.
That weekend tournament.
I'll adjust mine. I'll just say that that weekend,
I don't know if this counts for my third, but just like, so Coach L came in and he had a bunch of these Frank Haith recruits, but can we talk about like getting Trey McKinney-Jones and Kenny Kaji to transfer and then sit a year and then having them be like the additions to like Shane Larkin deciding to come back from DePaul, like just these transfers that you didn't realize at the time that the team was going to be so good. But this like,
I had Shane Larkin coming from DePaul as one because he was wasn't he already at DePaul, or like he was about?
He never actually played. He didn't he
wasn't he on campus or something?
Or something, and then he decided to come play here. But then like also like the combo of that plus getting Trey and Kenny, like kind of like that transfer class, like the big impact that it ended up having. So I'm just going to say the 2012-2013 transfer class.
Well, yeah, and the way you can make that count, because it's kind of an element, this is the what if, right? Those were not, Kenny Kaji and Trey McKinney Jones weren't big time. Oh my God, I can't believe it, because back then, but the what if part of that, the real what if part of that is there was no portal, so there was not a lot of transferring, especially in basketball where a lot of kids go pro before they finish their eligibility. And actually, because the rules, this is where Melissa's timing comes in, because the rules mandate they sit out, they ended up sitting out a year instead of playing the previous year, which allowed, again, like you said, other players to also show up, and that's what allowed the team to be assembled that year versus spread across 2 years.
And you look at that team where it was Shane Larkin and all seniors. So you've got Durant Scott, you've got Trey McKinney Jones, you've got Reggie, Julian, Kenny Kaji. You have the freshman Tanya that wouldn't have been there if this was the year before. You have Ryan Brown, who was a significant factor off the bench, that was also a freshman who wouldn't have been there the year before. So all of those pieces coming together with the rule that they had to sit, and Shane last second deciding to play at Miami, all of those things. So that, yeah. You know I had to mention Kenny somehow.
I mean, I beat you to it.
Well, and then so Matt said that whole Dayton tournament thing. So it's back to you for number 3.
I mean, should I just say Matt's 2 for him, since this is what every
what is it?
What number? Wait, hold on. So you guys already did
3. Matt has Blake Hinson's miss,
okay, yeah,
Julian Stain, and Dayton. Okay. You currently have Reggie's.
No, I know mine. I lost track because we kept going out of order because I was like, me too.
To be fair, I did have Julian Gamble written down.
I think you both did, and it's not actually this. That wouldn't. I'm just messing with you.
Well, ours are 2 different because you said Julian deciding to stay, and I said Julian's knee injury requiring him to miss a year. So they're kind of different. Vish.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking, should I go out of sport here? Because there are. All right, I'll do. This is going way back. This one's definitely. This one is one Matt cannot steal because there's no way you might have been in diapers. So people don't remember this, but Ken Dorsey's freshman year, he was not the starter most of the year, and that year Florida State and Virginia Tech played for the national title. We're playing at Virginia Tech. We're actually beating them, and our starting quarterback was a guy named Kenny Kelly, who also was a professional baseball player. He gets injured in that game, and because of that, we were up 10-0, lost 43-10. Ken Dorsey came in, was not ready for that game at Blacksburg at night, number 2 team in the country. Threw a pick 6, was a disaster, but had to start the rest of the year. That prepared him, because if none of that happened, he does not play that year, other than like garbage time. Next year is when we started our 34-game win streak with him as the starting quarterback. Without playing those games, none of that happens. So, the whole, like, the only time we've had a football program since the 90s is that injury.
Can I put Jimmy Graham deciding to play a year of football at tight end and then having a long NFL career? Does that count, or is that not? I'm winging it here. I'm trying to come up with things on the fly because I don't have a 4th.
If only we didn't have this topic for like a day.
What about What about?
I think.
Or what about?
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
What about?
That does count, is what I'm saying. Like,
but what about some no name? I mean, I know we don't like this person anymore, but like L randomly getting some dude from Arkansas State that's an undersized center that ends up like helping lead us to an elite, an Elite 8 and then a Final 4. No, not an Elite 8, a Final 4. Sorry, he wasn't on the Elite 8 team. I don't know which one's better. I mean, the
Jimmy Graham one
is a bigger deal because he came from K-State, but like
the Jimmy Graham one.
I'll take Jordan Miller then.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jordan Miller too.
But okay, so
it's not really. I know what you're gonna say.
These are just okay. We recruited a dude. The Jimmy Graham one's a good one because most major football.
I feel like you could say something for Nigel Pack though, because like that was actually like he really could have gone to Purdue. Like that was, that was.
Yeah,
like
and I think that one's.
Oh, I got a what if.
But the
Oh no,
Jimmy
that's
Graham
a bad
works.
one. That's
The
a bad
Jimmy-
one. Never mind.
There's a lot of bad ones. The trash one will be a lot easier.
Yeah, the trash.
And the Jimmy
one is
Graham
easier.
one's a good one because you think about it. I know, insert joke here. A major at that point, football power, allowing
What about
the tight
the-
end, power forward off the basketball team to even play. Yeah, Jimmy Graham obviously long NFL career, multiple time Pro Bowler, is an elite NFL tight end, but most teams that are at that point, we were what? That was our best year under Randy Shannon. We lost 3 games that year, finished in the top 15. Letting the power forward play tight end is not something most programs do. So that I think that one fits. Because easily the coach could have been like, no. What are you talking about? You're not gonna you can go play tight end for
else.
you think you can play tight end at the University of Miami? You're crazy. They let him play.
I don't know if I have another one.
I mean, the Jimmy Graham one counts, Melissa, if you want to use that.
I know. I'm trying to think if there's something better.
And I do think Nigel, in a way. Well, I guess okay. Let's unpack the Nigel one a little bit. So, what if he does go to Purdue?
What about Fern
would we have done,
Labadie
right?
retiring and us getting Coach Meyer?
Fern Labadie didn't retire. Shalala knifed her. So
What about her getting fired? That turned out to be really good because we got Coach Meyer.
that counts. Actually, that was a shock. No one expected that. She's I think in the UM Sports Hall of Fame for Labadie, but it was time, I guess. Shalala fired her.
I'm gonna put Coach Meyer getting hired.
And I guess the same question there. Like, obviously, we don't know for that, but for Nigel Matz, that's closer to now. So, what would we have done? That's kind of the what if, right? So, obviously, he fit like a glove, and there were questions about that. Remember, it's hard to remember now, because as Coach Kimble was talking about, like, he's the unquestioned leader of this team. When he's not on the court, we noticeably drop off, right?
Yeah.
And even when he was hobbled, it killed us. Like, even him at 50% was better than not him, but it was not good enough. Like, but it's hard to remember at the time. Like, is he going to really fit next to Zay? And then he, didn't get out of the gates well. And it was really only, around Christmas and then on into ACC play where we really started to fit in. So that was not necessarily a slam dunk. So what do you think we would have done? Because we were going to get someone at that position. And frankly, we were waving around money. So someone was going to come in. But what would have been what? So Nigel, let's say, does go to Purdue, which is, again, home state, right? And then what? The what if there's kind of like, well, what would we have done? But I think the reason
throwing money at someone else, but I don't.
Yeah, I think the reason
all
that
the
this
guards that were in the
no, but I think the reason that it works. I think the reason that it works is whatever we did would not have worked out as well as this. Period.
Yeah.
Well, I will also say Matt can leave his 4th one open because at the end of the season, it's going to be like, what if Nigel had decided to leave after this past season and transfer like everybody else did?
Yeah, but he was never going to do that.
But he stayed, and I think that's going to be a big deal at the end of this next season. Just saying.
Respect.
That can be Matt's 4th, but it can be at the end of the year. At the end of the
But he already gave his 4th.
I know what I'm just saying. It can be another one.
That can be his 5th. We can revisit the topic and
Yo. Did you guys see that I'm the one just going off topic. Did you see they're bringing back backyard baseball?
Are they?
Yeah, they're gonna remake it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Crazy,
Vish, did you say a 4th?
No, I was helping you all out.
What's your 4th?
God, now I don't.
I also will say, like the Nigel staying thing, I also have a really good feeling about Coach Cullop. So like, I
cannot verbalize. I was
devastated. I was devastated. I was devastated that Coach Meyer retired because we obviously love her, but I think Coach Cullop with what Coach Meyer has built here, and now like the women's team, like we kind of have a name for ourselves now. I think Coach Cullop can continue with that and keep going, and I think it's Coach Cullop's going to be awesome. I mean, obviously Coach Meyer is like number 1 to us, but like I think we're on an uptrend. That I think she's going to continue the momentum Coach Meyer had. So that's another thing later on in a few seasons. We're going to look back and be like, all right.
I was not going to verbalize that at all. I will never.
No, Coach Meyer's number 1 to us. She named the show.
Never.
But
Never.
That's why her picture on my wall is bigger than other ones, because I was like, I'm not
Never.
going to just put a 4x6.
I thought it. You know, we could be looking back if there's a next step taken. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not saying that. So,
but if that happens, though, it's going to be because of what Coach Meyer built and what
I understand
Phillip
that.
has been able to continue.
You're
So
absolutely
this
right.
is just.
You're absolutely right. And
I'm
still,
just saying.
No, you're 100% correct. I thought the exact thing that came out of your mouth, and I'm like, I'm not going to verbalize that.
You know, I got no shame. It's on the intro.
There's principalities involved.
It's on the intro. No shame. There will be a small revamp to the intro when Vish does have time to do it, because we do want to add Coach Cullip to it, and we do want to take out a few.
There needs to be some subtractions too,
or a person mainly.
There's some. There is. All right,
there's
so
a 6'7" person that we need to remove from the countdown.
I will say another future sliding doors.
Wait, can we talk about how Coach? I just reminded me when you said 6'7" that he said Matthew Cleveland was 6'5".
Yeah. Okay.
Because isn't he listed at 6'7"?
I thought he was listed at 5. Let me see. I mean, we know.
Didn't he also say like Brandon Johnson's like a legitimate 6'8"?
Yeah.
Or something, and I kind of laughed to myself because I'm like, okay, he's like, yeah, it's a real height. It's not like the fabricated stuff.
Yeah, 6'7". Cleveland 6'7".
Yeah, because Brandon Johnson's listed at 6'8", I think, isn't he? Or no?
I thought it was listed at 6'9", or maybe that's Kyrie Huey.
I think Huey's 6'9".
I wanted to ask a question about something about how we have Kyrie Huey and Lynn Kidd, and how that's going to be such an upgrade from our centers that we had last year. But I didn't want to.
Well, we didn't have to ask it.
I didn't want to throw that much shade.
No, but we didn't have to, because he basically said that. I mean, he didn't say, "Wow, thank God we have an actual like Norchad's gone." Which
he just said he said we can do more.
Yeah, and he said we actually he used the phrase actual size.
You see how I talked about spacing, and he was like, "Yep."
Yeah, no, there's definitely a better constructed roster that's not. I would say it's much more multidimensional. It was we had one, we basically could throw the fastball, and that was it. And then
it's like,
yeah,
it's like now we have like, I know there's limited minutes, but like we can play different ways. Like if AJ Stan McRae needs to get out there, he can guard multiple positions. We can have like more of a defensive minded, lineup, or, smaller lineup, bigger lineup. You want to play, with more size. It's a lot of versatility that we have.
It's like we had, both teams basically had like a complete refresh and rebuild, and like to me, like it was very nerve-wracking at the beginning, being like, oh my god, we have like no players. But like now, looking back on it now, like I'm so excited for these seasons, just because so many new faces, and how well both Coach Cullip and Coach L have recruited from the portal, and like the freshmen coming in. And like we haven't talked about it now, but we will if I can find tape. But like we already have 4 ladies in our recruiting class for next year. 2 of them are top 100 players. So, I mean, and then we offered another one who's like 6'3" and is like a top 100 player also. Like Coach Cullip hitting the recruiting trail like crazy. And you obviously know she can recruit from the portal. And Coach L, I mean, the 180 turnaround in the portal recruiting this past offseason. So it's just, I mean, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, because obviously we were let down significantly last season. But like, I'm on the like, if you watch 6 String Canes on Monday, where Vish picked us to go 12-0 in football, like I'm starting to drink the basketball Kool-Aid a little bit. So I'm just,
I'm not going to pick us to go undefeated in hoops, but
no, I'm not going to do that. There's more games to be played, but like
I might have to do a parlay of us winning the ACC.
Well, we're going to do a prediction. We're going to do a prediction.
Can I finish my Mount Rushmore before we do a prediction show? Or?
No, you're done.
That's Matt's fault. He went off on the tangent first.
I think we all did. I think I did first, actually. But
so Vicious, your 3 so far are Reggie Johnson's thumb injury, allowing Julian to get more playing time, the Dayton blowout, and Ken Dorsey playing as a freshman.
What, you're repping the network?
Yeah,
what's happening?
Gotta let it be known
and Coach Kimble approved. We played good basketball in this, end quote. So my last one is, What if in the ACC tournament, Louisville against the women had just dribbled the clock out and taken shot clock violations instead of rushing a bunch of shots, turning the ball over? And if you recall, Melissa and I have watched this a million times.
That is such a good one. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Because, again, the whole game's on YouTube, and I always watch the last 10 minutes. But after they did it like 4 times, their coach called timeout and like lit into them. But at that point,
you can hear it on the YouTube thing too.
Yeah,
he was literally like, "What the hell are you doing?"
And they could have just sat on the ball and the game was over. Instead, they rushed a couple of transition threes. They threw the ball away under their basket, and Jalea stole it and laid it in, and all of that.
And then did Destiny Harden?
Yeah, Destiny went off and scored all the points, but like they could have avoided any of that by just eating the clock out. And if that doesn't happen, and we don't win that game. Recall, we then beat Notre Dame in the semis.
We don't get to see the cool Haley Van Lith.
Well, I mean,
at the end.
that aside, that was a bubble team that we had that year. They ended up an 8 seed, but they easily could have missed the tournament
altogether.
Instead, the Louisville win definitely like kind of solidified that, and then went all the way to the finals. And if we don't make the tournament that year, now we won a game and then lost to South Carolina that year. I mean, does the Elite Eight happen? Probably not. Like that all cascaded out of that.
We could have made shots in that Elite Eight game. We played the best defense against LSU the whole tournament.
That all fell out of that Louisville comeback, which again, Destiny Harden. We got to get her on the show just to ask her about that.
That would be a great interview.
I should see. Let's see if I can do that. I think that we could actually make happen.
I mean, we know someone who could help.
You know what we need to do? Well, let's clip the part where Coach said you guys need to get Nigel Pack on and send it to Nigel Pack.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm good. I'm good at what I do here.
I know you are. You're the best. You're not just good.
I do the clipping on social media. Well, I mean, you do Vish is doing like the 2-minute recaps now, but as far as like on our Twitter, I've always got clips of stuff and revealing our chat on a regular basis.
I know. Make sure you don't put anything in the WhatsApp group chat unless you want everyone to see it.
I give you a heads up now. I'm like, hey, I'm posting this online. Did you speaking of, did you see I know Vish saw it. Matt, did you see our new practice uniforms?
I did.
I'm a fan.
I'll be honest, I'm not really.
I mean, they're practice uniforms. They're not going to be like super hype, but I like
Wait,
them.
are you trolling or you seriously don't like them?
No, I'm serious. I thought they were
I do miss the palm trees though.
I meant like they're too bland to me, unless I'm looking at the wrong ones.
I mean, the palm trees are the best.
They really are.
I wish I could wear these, but they're too big.
I can actually wear mine, which I've done a couple of times.
I should wear mine. Oh, I don't have any.
Look.
In Vicious defense, he didn't know he was getting any.
No, they were acquired on our behalf by a former employee of the University of Miami. Actually, not former. She's still associated with the athletic department.
Everybody knows Coach Meyer got them for us. We've discussed this a million times. You don't have to be cryptic.
Well, I mean, her telling of it is that not necessarily she took them. So
I think it's okay.
You can do what you want.
That they're not even wearing anymore because they have new practice uniforms. So it really doesn't matter.
I wonder if she can still get in there and take more stuff first.
If I could just get 5 minutes in the equipment room.
None of it would fit you.
They gotta have smalls, extra smalls, maybe.
Melissa would come out like this, like just with all this different, all these
all
hoodies
the hoodies.
on.
Just give me all the hoodies. those like white and gray camo hoodies they wore through the European tour last summer. I want those. Those are sick.
Yeah, I can just. It's too long. I can't wear this. That's what would happen if you wanted. Because even the ones that are supposed to be like the basketball jerseys that keep tucked in, so they're longish. They're like extra long anyway. So even the ones that oh wow, this is the undersized point guard on the women's team. I'm about the same height as her, and they'll still be like way too long for your style likes.
Anything else to add before we go into one of my favorite parts of the show?
Which
I mean,
one's that?
are we gonna do plugs before or after that, so that we can?
Are we doing trivia on tonight's final thoughts, or is it just the final thoughts?
Well, you're about to find out.
All right. Well, I guess before we do that, then as Melissa said, next week Thursday, not Wednesday, but Thursday, same
8
time
p.m.
though, 8 p.m. Danielle Page, assistant coach for the women's team, is on. But next week on Monday, Six Rings Kane, we got our UF preview. It is football season, folks. It is football season, so that's all next week. So we got Six Ring previewing the UF game, and then we got another massive guest. We're just knocking them out now on this show Thursday at 8 p.m. Danielle Page joins us.
I wonder if I can get all of the assistant coaches before the season starts.
We're getting close. That's what I'm saying.
We got two.
On the men's side too, we've gotten two, and we've gotten 2 women's head coaches. So something's missing there, Coach Lauren Yaga. So
well, Muriel Page is the only one who doesn't follow us on the Buckets account, but I could probably get Jessie Ivy because she does follow us. But the fourth assistant coach, and then the strength and conditioning coordinator follows me on Twitter and on Instagram, so I'm able to get her too.
Her I've met.
No relation. Her last name's Brown.
I got that. Mr. Bridges, are we all set?
Oh, I mean, I'm ready.
Matty Ice.
Let's go. Final thoughts today. It's a trivia edition.
Yes. I love the final thoughts trivia.
So I don't know if you guys are gonna. Well, I think you'll love it, but it's gonna be a tough one. We're gonna go back and forth. I don't even know if you guys will be able to name one though. So this might be really tough.
It might be a back and forth and then quit.
It might even like.
Well, Vish won last time, and then I got the first one.
Vish actually, I think Vish will get a name, but we'll start with Melissa. We gotta start with our fearless leader.
You gotta let the dictator go first, otherwise we'll all be executed.
Who can name the most NBA players that played at the beach?
Oh my god. I don't think I know any either, Melissa.
I withdraw.
Oh, what happened to Go Beach? I'm about the beach. Go Beach, right? I've never pretended otherwise that I do not care of it. You've been faking it.
I root for the beach because I support our co-host.
I support our co-host too, but I don't fake like I'm a beach fan.
I am a beach fan.
There's a guy that played a couple seasons.
When they win like 4 games next year, you're not going to care.
There's a guy that played a couple seasons for the Heat that went to Long Beach State because he was there when I was there.
Okay, when you were there.
Norris Cole.
No.
Okay. Oh man, was it Rasul Butler? Was it? That's too old.
No. He played for, I want to say like 4 or 5 different teams.
He played with the Heat.
There's some.
Oh, I'm sure there are. I mean, like there's going to be a lot of. Oh, I didn't know he went to Long Beach. That's what this is going to turn into. Melissa, it's your turn. I'm
gonna just have to start giving clues.
Okay.
I just don't know how to be.
How many players in total is it? Are we talking about current NBA players?
Current, there's none.
Okay, so it's
all former. Yeah, it's all. I'm saying all time.
This is harder than NBA grid.
I know, but it's
Nazir Muhammad.
Went to Kentucky.
I'm looking through the names right now, and there's 2 pretty well-known names of like. What's the clue I should do here? I think I'm pretty sure think like 80s, 90s.
I'm not gonna get one. So
80s, 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fat Lever. That's my go-to.
No. One of them won a 3-point contest. I think he won.
Craig Hodges.
There you go. There's one.
Who?
Craig
Who?
Hodges played with
The Bulls.
Played with Michael Jordan.
So he won the 3-point contest twice in a row, and then the Bulls cut him, and he wasn't on an NBA team, so they let him compete anyway. And back then they didn't have All-Star jerseys; they wore like their normal jerseys, and he just was wearing like a gray jersey that said NBA on it because he didn't have a team. Pretty sad that he didn't win.
No.
But they we can't not do it. We can't do this without Hodges.
I don't know.
There's one.
I got the Clippers question a few weeks ago, and I'm glad I got one.
All right, I
didn't get this. It doesn't count anyway. Mine does. We both lost this one. I mean, he gave that away. Go ahead.
Dude played for the Jazz for a good amount of time, and then
Olden Paulus.
No.
Sorry, he's known for.
He's known for playing for the Jazz.
Brian Russell?
Yep.
He's not known for playing for the Jazz. He's known for
getting
punked by Michael Jordan. That's what he's known for. He's in the background falling over.
I was going to say that, but that would have given it away. The name that I was thinking of that he went to school with me was James Ennis.
Oh, see, that's what I was like. I think if Melissa had thought through her obscure recent Heat players, she would have pulled that.
Yeah.
I could have gotten there eventually, but we would have been here a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lord knows we're very crisp.
I should have done.
We never drift. So.
Do you think you could name baseball players that played at Long Beach? No.
Probably not.
I'd have to pull up a list right now.
I don't know. Did Mark Kotze play there? Or was that kill me? But I get him mixed up with Fullerton.
Do you also have a final thoughts?
No.
Well as...
This was the final thoughts.
But like just a thought, not a trivia question.
No.
Oh.
I know Evan Longoria played.
Would be that Reese's is better than Almond Joy.
Well, I mean that's like a given. It's not even a thought. It's just like a fact.
What if you want nuts?
Peanut M&Ms.
We want
aren't
nuts coconut.
Peanuts aren't technically nuts, though, aren't they?
They're a legume.
Legume.
I don't even know what nut is in an Almond Joy, but Logan is Almond Joy.
Is it in an almond?
Oh yeah, duh. Okay, I do know what nuts in an Almond Joy. If I say the name enough times, it might come to me.
Even with my
I gotta clip that. That's
even
that's going in the clips on this for sure.
Even with my Long Beach
can we get rid of my no shame thing and just put like what nuts in an
Almond Joy? I don't even know what nut is.
Instead of the socks outro, it should be the nut outro.
I mean, we can't ever get rid of the socks outro. But...
That's amazing.
That's going everywhere. That's one of those moments.
Oh, I might clip that and pin that.
English is hard. English is hard.
That's funny. All right, I got some clippings.
You get into hour 2 of the show, and that's when the joke happens.
Did you have a busy day at work, Fish, that you forgot that Almond Joy has almonds?
Look.
He was thinking of mounds. That's why.
No, mounds don't have
great
nuts.
Final thoughts.
This is drifted. So what happens if you involve the beach?
Okay, no, but seriously, do they sell mounds anymore? I've never seen mounds I barely see Almond Joy. The ones I do see are all dusty.
That could be another Mount Rushmore, like a Mount Rushmore of our favorite like peanut and nut candy.
I don't even think I have any. I only like peanuts and candy. I'm not a big.
Yep, they're both made in the Hershey plant in Robinson, Illinois.
It's just one guy making them because that's all they need.
It's just a kickback to the coconut lobby.
He loads up his van and goes delivers them.
All right. Anything else before we get out of here?
We should do a Mount Trashmore of all the worst snacks.
We should have written down what we should have done is written down our Mount Rushmores and Trash Force because we're definitely gonna hit a repeat at some point.
I mean, I've been writing.
Melissa has a binder. Yeah, she has a binder.
But it's not all of them though. I don't write down all of them because
there are definitely times where we like all of a sudden, like maybe 5 minutes before show, realize we've already done what we were about to do. Like, wait, we already did that. So yeah,
Right.
it's definitely at one point we will repeat.
Can I add to our sliding doors of Jack McClinton transferring to Miami from Siena?
Fish is just like, sure, fuck it. Yeah.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
Does that count?
No, but
I don't know. That was a hard one. The Trashmore is going to be easier to do.
The Frank Haith era doesn't count for anything. We're going to erase that from existence. That and Perry Clark.
Hey, that's Melissa's guy.
What
Hates
would have
baseball.
happened if Sean Hull wasn't refereeing the game I got kicked out of?
Someone else would have been kicked you out, and you'd remember some other ref's name instead.
Coach Kimble knew Sean Hull too.
Yeah, but I think if you had said insert, I don't know, Teddy Valentine or something, you would have known too, and he would have equally thrown you out because you were waving money at the official.
I don't know. Matt, you should have the last thought before I cue it. Anything to add?
Yes. There's an important decision lingering right now. I'm very hungry. I have a decision to make of where I want to take my hunger.
Chipotle.
Popeyes.
I have decided to take my hunger to Chipotle.
You could have done something for the Popeyes lobby here as we're struggling, and instead
I'll be 100% honest. I don't even know the last time I had Popeyes. It's been a while. But like, it's not a negative. I don't see it as a negative thing. It's just I have to go to Chick-fil-A because Monica and her sisters love Chick-fil-A. And yeah,
They're invited on the show.
they're not coming on the show.
Alrighty. Tune in next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Coach Danielle Page of the women's team will be on. Six String Canes will be on next Monday at 8:30 for your Miami versus Florida breakdown. I don't know if are you having F1?
Yeah, there's a race this weekend, Dutch Grand Prix. We had F1 yesterday, and we'll review that next week and talk about the Italian Grand Prix.
Canes on Deck is also on this network that will.
Yeah, when we have something to talk about, we'll
but mainly buckets next Thursday, 8 p.m. Coach Danielle Page of the women's team will be on. And then hopefully we'll have secured Nigel Pack before that. But
wow, that is an optimistic timeline.
I don't know.
I have another guest that I'm gonna get on too.
Thanks for everybody for watching, everyone in the chat. Cue the Sox outro. Don't cry. Keep it chill. Wear good socks.